All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vays. Coming to you live as the markets are already open and we're going straight to the charts. All right. I'm not going to waste any time today. So much work that still needs to be done. And let's do it. We have the weekly chart. The weekly chart is on a green star candle. Some people have been messaging me asking me how come their MRI indicator does not have the green star candle. That's because it's not a default of the indicator. You have to, watch the educational videos that come with it. It is in the settings. It is these settings right here. This one, this one, this one, and this one. And I have a video that explains all of that. Okay, so but that's not a private. That's a private video. It's not a public video. Okay, so I always forget to mention this part. I mean to mention it for a few shows. So the weekly chart is certainly on a good roll right now. This is a great start to the week, but we need to finish in the upper half of this candle. If we don't finish in the upper half of this candle, then it doesn't really matter all that much. Okay. So let's see where it goes the rest of the week. Daily chart. Daily chart is the one that's really important. Let's take a look at the metrics. Let's take a look at the funding rate. As you can see, the funding rate has not yet flipped in favor of the bears. So that means there is still lots of short interest and people are not buying into this rally, which is good. That means that the rally is more likely to continue in that case. The RSI is about to go overbought. That is still bullish. The MACD is certainly bullish. The CMF is bullish. And well, this is a rough spot. I don't usually even have the rune on this, but it is bullish. But it's not. It was definitely late on telling you to enter the trade, and you certainly wouldn't enter the trade based on this indicator. I'm actually going to drop it to clear a little bit of room for the other ones. The daily chart. So I did not like the prior day. You can see how I have a big red volume spike. The reason why the volume spike is red and the candle is green is because this is the tone base volume and not the general volume. And the reason for that is because at the end of the day, there was too much bearish momentum. And you can see it in the long upper shadow that got rejected right around the MRI resistance line. However, today's candle is very, very bullish. And I remain of the belief that an MRI top is coming and we just need 2 more days to get there. Do we have a shot at going all the way up and hitting the moving average rejection area on this particular move to the upside with this MRI top in 2 days? It's unlikely, but it is certainly possible. I mean, Bitcoin moved 15% for over $5,000 just yesterday, okay? And we can certainly repeat that on today's, over the next 3 days. We're still going to be a little bit short. We would need to repeat it as of today's high over the next 3 days, and then we will certainly hit there. I personally would love to see it go that high, because if it goes that high this quickly, that gives me an opportunity to sell GBTC instead of rushing in and buying more GBTC. As weird as that sounds, and I am a bull in this market. So it's Bitcoin dominant. Sorry, here's GBTC. Okay, man, TradingView is like messing up with these things. Sometimes they're black, sometimes they're blue, and it's very confusing, like which of my tabs are actually TradingView tabs. As you can see, yesterday, the GBTC premium almost made it back to zero. We got all the way to like 3%. Okay, so 3%, okay. That's because yesterday there was so much demand for GBTC that there wasn't enough sellers, and the GBTC premium went trended back towards zero. Today's a little bit of a pullback. More sellers of GBTC already stepped up, and you can see the premium go back down. But keep in mind, no new GBTC shares are going to be created. That's because the trust has not bought any more Bitcoin since early this year. So there shouldn't be any more 6-month lockups ending with any significant amount of GBTC shares. And that means as the bull market reemerges, there will be lots of demand for GBTC shares and not enough new supply. And that should probably send the premium back into positive territory. Now, if this happens over the next 3 days and GBTC rallies into the $40 range, on a positive GBTC premium, as the price of Bitcoin rallies into this resistance zone, I would consider selling some GBTC and buying it on a pullback. But right now, I remain long in my GBTC position and I'm not rushing in to buy more, okay? And that's because we are going up too far too fast, and the big move occurred during the weekend, not giving me an opportunity to buy more, okay? Hold on 1 second, guys, and then we're gonna go into the short-term time frame. Here is the 1 hour chart. And the 1 hour chart just hit an MRI top, well, in the last hour. This hour is only 1 minute in. And you can see how the 1 hour chart topped a little bit in the middle of nowhere. I would have still been bullish on this candle, and my stop loss would have had to get hit. But you can see the beautiful MRI buy right here at midnight last night, New York time. And here we are in New York time again. So at 9 a.m. hour, we topped looking for a 1 to 4 candle consolidation here, and then probably a spike to the upside. I am generally bullish right now, other than this early going into the afternoon, New York time again. I'm always using the U.S. East Coast time, and I say New York, no matter where I am in the world. It's just easier that way. So not much else to say here. We'll glance at a 4 hour chart. 4 hour chart should be fairly bullish. Once the MRI loads, should probably be a green star candle coming up next candle. Let's look at the traditional markets. Here's gold. I remain slightly bullish on gold, especially if we get to an MRI buy in 2 days. I remain fairly bullish on oil. We're still dealing with a monthly MRI top this month and potentially again next month. And finally, the S&P. I am bullish on the S&P. It's just a little bit of a down day today. We just broke the new all-time highs. Why wouldn't you stay bullish the S&P? But here's a reason. Because this week is an MRI warning week, and next week is an MRI top week. One of the stocks that my friends entered right here off the MRI buy, and a little bit of a scare today, but it's looking better now. Earnings is coming, but I still like this bullish trade. All right, I got a question from the live audience. I generally save those for my private Q&As. For the private Q&As, you can find the information right there, tomevays.com, products and services, private Q&A. I will probably do one tomorrow. We have the on-demand videos for those that want to learn how to trade. And of course, the MRI itself, the MRI indicator right here. All right, I see a question. Can either you or any of your mods recommend a good website or channel to get info on the pandemic plans for future and misinformation? No, I have no idea. There's so much misinformation out there that I mean, stop watching mainstream media. They are the biggest propaganda machine ever. You just gotta sift through mostly BitChute videos, because anything remotely scientific gets banned from YouTube. I took a look at the monthly the other day. We'll look at the monthly when the month ends. There's nothing to really see on the monthly. We finally have a green candle on the monthly. It should stay green. Look, I've always said for months that this bull cycle is going to be, a repeat of the 2013 bull cycle, where we had two peaks, one bigger than the other. And it's playing out that way just perfectly. We're bottoming out this summer, and we're going to be at a new all-time high either later this year or early next year. Yeah, I just talked about the 1 hour chart. I am looking at a 1 to 4 candle correction on the 1 hour chart because of the MRI top. And then we reevaluate. This correction could go all the way down to 37.5 to the moving averages, and then probably higher. Yeah, I don't care about volume. So much Bitcoin has come off exchanges that volume is going to be smaller. Not to mention Bitcoin is so much more expensive now. So volume is going to be smaller in terms of the amount of Bitcoin being traded. You have a BRK, you have a giant contradiction. Just read your comment. How can you be bullish on the S&P and at the same time be a Bitcoin maxi? They're two completely unrelated things. Being a Bitcoin maxi is a scientific position. Being bullish on the S&P is because Biden is printing money. Bullish on S&P is bullish on Biden printing. Correct. That's exactly correct. All that printing is sending money into the stock market. I've always been bullish the stock market. I'll be bearish the stock market when the government stops printing. I don't understand how anyone could be a bear on the stock market the last decade or two. Mostly decade. Because you see, in 2008, when the market crashed in 2008, the banks were failing. See, when the market crashed in 2000, the tech sector was out of control. So it was like the ICO bubble. There were so many companies in this mess. Like the S&P didn't even fall that much. The NASDAQ fell big time, right? The S&P fell like 50%. NASDAQ fell like 90%. That's because there was a lot of deadweight companies that needed to go bankrupt, okay? The 2008 crash was because the banks failed. And when the banks failed, no one can get a loan. And if no one can get a loan, all other businesses will fail. That's why the government had to bail out the banking sector, okay? They've been printing money ever since. This is COVID. Again, what happened in COVID? Businesses collapsed. Right? So when businesses go out of business, the market crashes. Why are businesses going out of business? Explain to me. If you are a bear on the stock market, explain to me, how are businesses going out of business today? The only reason stock market would crash is if businesses are going out of business. Today, the government is in the process of printing a shit ton of money and handing it to people and handing it to businesses to keep them alive. Yes, the small businesses have completely been destroyed by the lockdowns, but the small businesses are not in the S&P 500. The S&P 500 are the big businesses, and the big businesses benefit from the destruction of the small businesses that the governments are doing. So the lockdowns actually help the big businesses, not initially, not at first, but between the money printing and the reopening of the economy for only big businesses, where the mom and pops are out of business, the big business get to make more money. So why in the world is anyone bearish on the stock market? Explain it to me. What catalyst is going to cause a destruction of Amazon? What catalyst is going to destroy the big businesses that the government is protecting and printing money for? Right. Eventually is a long time. Someone says eventually big businesses fail. Yes, but they get replaced by better big business, right? Tesla is most likely going to eliminate Ford, Chevy, and all the other US companies, right? All those old car companies will probably go out of business eventually, and Tesla will replace them. But Tesla is already in the S&P 500, and those other companies will leave the S&P 500. You can continue to blame the irrationality of the market, right? Like, what other crashes were there? You have to go all the way back to 1987 in order to find the next crash. And while the 1987 crash was bad, and people are still fully confused over that crash and why it happened, 2 years later, we were back to new all-time highs. Those weekly MRI users would have got a nice warning. And a beautiful MRI buy right here. And a nice sell. Weekly chart. I'm curious what the daily chart looked like using the MRI for the 1987 crash. Let's see. Let's go to 1987. All right, this video needs to end right after this. Oh man, the buy signal was off by 1 day, but that is a really bad candle that you should not be buying on, because look how badly it closed. But the top call was nice. So was this buy call. See, you're already on a weekly MRI top and the monthly MRI top, and the daily MRI top comes in here. So I'm curious what the monthly looked like now. Oh, monthly is easy too. Look at that. Monthly MRI top, September 1987, 1 to 4 candle correction, and then we go back up. Beautiful. Beautiful. You can take your exit here, go back in over here, green star in the candle after, and then exit again here. All right, guys. The Understanding Bitcoin Conference in Dubai is going on sale very, very soon. We are still dealing with some regulation out there in order to bring you the conference. After that, we have the Financial Summit, which will take place in Ras Al Khaimah. The airport is the Dubai airport, is just in the opposite direction of the airport than the city of Dubai. And check that out as well. This is for traders. I already showed you my website, free learn trading section. Also my calendar. I will, we're still here. I will be in Mexico, and then I will be in Miami, and then I will be in Texas. So there's a conference here in Miami. I need to put it on the calendar. I will, don't worry. All right, and that is it. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. Let's see if this Bitcoin run can continue. As of now, the hourly chart is perfectly called by the MRI for a pullback. I am still anticipating a 1 to 4 hourly correction, followed by more upside. Bye, guys.